Hi students, in this video I am going to explain tutorial 3.4 from your textbook. So idea here is this is a simple pin block assembly, but the design intent that we want to build into this assembly is something like if we change the dimensions of the block or pin in future, regardless of those changes in the dimensions, the pin should always be centered in the block. So that is the particular design intent. The pin should always be centered in the block, no matter what dimension changes we will do in future. So let's work on it. We'll design the block first, then we will design a pin, and then we will assemble these two parts. Also at the same time, we have to focus on the design intent that we want to build into the design. So let's work on the block. So I'm going to start new file, new part file. My computer is kind of slow here, but anyways, so I'm gonna select the front plane, and we want to extrude the base sketch, so extruded boss. Then we need a center rectangle. The center is on the origin, and we draw the rectangle. Next we dimension this rectangle. This is actually square, 4 by 4, so 4 inches by 4 inches. The sketch is complete, it is fully defined, so we can exit the sketch now. And thickness is 2 inches, but we want to extrude it using the mid plane option. There is a reason why we are going to choose mid plane, but let's go ahead and select mid plane, and the depth is 2 inches, so that's that. Okay, now let's go ahead and save this part. File, save as. I'm going to save it on the desktop here. Tutorial 3.4 block. So we got that. Next we are going to cut a hole in this block. So I'm going to select this surface, front surface, extruded cut, and we want to draw a circle on the origin. Diameter of the circle is 2 inches. And this is going to be through all. So exit the sketch mode, select the through all option, and OK. I'm gonna save it one more time. So that part is complete. I'm gonna close the part, and now I'm going to work on the pin. So new part, OK, and let's work on the pin. So once again, I wanna select the front plane, extruded boss, then draw a circle on the origin. Diameter of this circle is 2 inches. The sketch is complete. You can exit the sketch. The thickness of this pin, or the length of the pin, is 5 inches, but once again we are going to choose mid plane option, and 5 for thickness, 5 inches. Okay, so that's our pin. I'm gonna save it. File, save as, tutorial 3.4 pin. Okay, so we are good. We got two parts. Now it's time to assemble them. So I'm going to close this part and I'm going to open new assembly file. Okay, the two parts that we want to bring in is the block and the pin. So I'm going to place them appropriately in the assembly area. Next, we want to assemble them, and again, as I said before, the design intent is to center the pin in the block, irrespective of the changes in the dimensions in future. So how can we accomplish that? First, let's make the pin concentric with the block. So I'm going to go to the assembly tab here, and I'm going to use the mate option. I'm going to select the outer circular surface of the pin and the inner surface of this hole. Okay, SolidWorks automatically understood that we want to make the concentric mate, so that's good. We're gonna click OK, and then I can pull the pin out. Now next thing is the way we can center the pin inside the block is we take the front plane of the pin, which is in the middle, because when we extruded the pin we use the mid plane option. So front plane of the pin is in the middle of the pin, and also the front plane of the block is also in the center of the block. So we mate the mid plane of the pin and the front plane of the pin and the front plane of the block, and we make them coincident. So let's do that. How do I select the front plane of the pin? So I'm going to open this design tree here, and we have this tutorial pin. I'm going to open that, and I'm going to select the front plane of the pin, and then I'm going to open the block here and the front plane of the block, and SolidWorks automatically selected the coincident mate, which is good. So OK and OK. So that completes that. Now let's see if we change the dimensions of the pin and dimensions of the block, do we still still keep the pin in the center? Let's try that. So I'm going to select this block, right click and open part. So it will open the part. Okay, so I want to change the dimensions of the block. So I'm going to select the sketch of the block and edit sketch. The dimensions I want to change, I want to make this let's say 5, let's make it 5 by 3. So this dimension here, instead of 4, it's going to be 5, and this dimension here, instead of 4, it's going to be 3. So that's good. Exit the sketch. We have changed the block. Let's save this, close it. You will get a message here that the models contained within the assembly have changed. Would you like to rebuild the assembly now? Go ahead and select yes, and you can see the pin is still centered. Now let's change the length of the pin. So select the pin, right click, open part. The length of the pin is here, is in actually the feature mode. So edit feature this time and change it from 5 to 7 inches. And the mid plane, because of the mid plane option, it will extend equally in the both directions. So that's good. Okay, save this CAD model, close it. Once again we have to choose S for rebuilding the assembly, and you can see the pin is still centered in the block. So with that, this completes the tutorial.